Hi, good evening everyone. I'm Yasas from TAS and joining with me today, Thanra Abeyewardena, the founder of TAS and Pro Athlete. He is a sports scientist by profession and has years of experience in training and managing athletes ranging from school level to national and international levels. So we are here today to discuss on the topic the role of strength and conditioning in maximizing athlete performance. As an experienced strength and conditioning coach and sports scientist actively engaged in the field of sports, Thanra will be sharing his years of knowledge today with the sporting community to gain a better understanding on how to build a better athlete with the assistance of strength and conditioning. So, Mr. Abeyewardena, can you please give us an introduction on who you are and what you have done so far in the field of sports?
Thanks, Yasas. So I'm an exercise sports scientist. I have a master's in exercise sports science. My research being recovery modalities. Hopefully I'll be reading for my PhD by February next year. That's the plan. Currently I'm part of TAS and Pro Athlete. We help athletes become stronger, better and hopefully faster in terms of every aspect except for the technical and the tactical component.
So, Pro Athlete is a sports brand of TAS. What made you start a separate brand for sports within the same company itself?
So, TAS was mainly, when I started in 2014, TAS was mainly a recreational brand where we had people who came for mainly health and wellness. So when it came to sport, I wanted to give sport a different identity, and as my passion and a lot of others who've joined the company's passion was sport, we wanted to give it a separate and a very positive identity. So I thought the name Pro Athlete, along with our assessment structures, our training modalities, our physiotherapy and the exercise rehab component coming into play, needed a different name, and with that a different set of expertise that can help athletes grow.
So my next question, as a strength and conditioning specialist, why do you think strength and conditioning is important for an athlete?
Oh, it's a tough question, but what I have to say is very clear. Strength and conditioning is a foundation of anything you do as an athlete, or maybe school level, sub-elite, elite, doesn't matter. If you are not strong, if you are not conditioned, if you don't have the right skills developed through strength and conditioning, whether you have technical talent or knowledge of the sport, you cannot get to the next level. So basically what we want to breed is national level, Olympic level, world championship level athletes. For that, strength and conditioning becomes the foundation of their international, national journeys.
So what are the major components addressed under strength and conditioning for a given athlete or a sport?
So strength and conditioning is not merely going to a gym or running 10 rounds around the ground. It has many things, or it has developed into many things in comparison to our traditional methods of training. So strength and conditioning is of course resistant training in what way, in any way possible. It doesn't have to be lifting weights only. Conditioning is mainly, in my opinion at least, it's about heart, lungs and circulation and how the physiology works, how we can transport oxygen in and out of the muscles, so on and so forth. And then you have the flexibility component, you have the recovery component, you have the nutrition, hydration, exercise rehab. So strength and conditioning is not only hitting a gym and lifting weights and seeing whether you look good in front of a mirror. It's not aesthetic, it's everything to do with the sport, it's everything to ensure that we do our sport to the maximum level, and that which will assist the tactical, technical and the talent of the athlete.
So what is the criteria that you use to decide what kind of program is appropriate or what kind of program is suitable for an athlete?
So that's very, when I say that's very complex, it's the application of that is not complex, but thinking of it is like complex. So basically you need to assess a player to understand where the baseline is, and then based on the assessment results you plan out your schedule. So whether person needs mobility stability, whether the person needs more flexibility, whether you need to work on that person's sleep, whether it's training, whether it's managing the load, how to balance load and recovery, how to balance 8 hours of school and then going into training schedule. So all that comes into that assessment platform where we understand the lifestyle of the athlete, we understand what that athlete needs to achieve and the status of the goals, what are the long-term plans, what are the short-term plans, how do we load, when do we load. For all that we need the input of the parent, we need the input of the coach. So basically we all work as a team, it's called the triangle. So the athlete is in the middle of the triangle and everyone is around it, and how we can ensure that all of us get together through our processes, our assessments, and develop the athlete. Currently we are running some of it with cricket, we are running a bit with tennis. So those are the sports that have actually come forward in terms of understanding this whole strength and conditioning component, and how we as accessories to sport can assist in terms of developing and hopefully winning a medal one day at the Olympics or World Championships.
So my next question, as a coach who has experience in both in Sri Lanka and abroad, right? So what are the major differences that you have seen in those countries compared to Sri Lankan context?
I think when we discussed before, so I said this, but the biggest problem, or not a problem, every country is different, how they approach things are different. So I won't say one country is right and the other country is wrong. I think it's a view of every country, but what I found in successful countries everywhere in the world is that they have a national plan for the country's success or the country's goals. So that plan can be 8 years, 12 years or even 16 years, doesn't matter. Every coach that comes in, every accessory coach or in terms of strength and conditioning, nutrition, doctors, everyone who is part of this program understands and acknowledges and appreciates that 8 to 12 year plan. They all work towards it. They might have differences within the program, but they won't deviate from that main 8 to 12 year goal. I think that's something Sri Lanka probably needs to look at and work on, and that might assist with long-term plans. I think that happens a bit with cricket where they have 3-4 year plans, but I think when it comes to other sports such as Olympic sports, the plans have to be in cycles of 4s. So it has to be either 8 or 12 year plan in terms of us winning our main objective of Olympic gold medal or World Championship medal.
So we see mostly in Sri Lanka, application of science and updated knowledge into the sports is very less compared to countries who perform better at international levels. So what is the long-term impact of this for the sports in Sri Lanka?
I think my biggest argument there is in 1996 we won the Cricket World Cup, 2000 Susantika wins the bronze and changes into silver. I think recently Lushan Pushparaj
won
bodybuilding. So those are all for me comes outside the 95 bell curve. So they are all specifically talented people who have gone beyond that normal form and won medals. If you take the 96 and the 2001, I think all countries were in the same level, so it didn't show a massive gap. But now the other countries have taken off. They are bought in technology, they are bought in education, they are bought in knowledge. So therefore the gap is increasing with Sri Lanka every day. And I think Sri Lanka needs to really look at what we can do in terms of education, in terms of bringing technology, in terms of having a core plan for every sport, maybe 8 to 12 years. I understand that Sri Lanka is struggling a bit with funding and stuff, but I think there's always a way and a method to get out of it. There's a lot of grants out there, there's a lot of funding out there that each individual sport can get outside a government involvement. So I think if the associations come together and come up with a 8 to 12 year plan, getting those grants and moving towards our collective goal of a medal, Olympic or World Championship, won't be too far away.
So my last question, what is the message that you would like to convey to the strength and conditioning coaches and the sports scientists out there?
Mainly, I think, we try to work with universities like Jayawardena and Sabarakamuwa, and I heard Columbia is starting as well. So mainly what you need them to understand is you can't learn the subject in terms of a book. It has to be a lot of practical application. So our children need to go abroad. We are like frogs in a well because we see limited stuff here in Sri Lanka, or we need to get people from abroad here who can expose our kids to the environment that they should be exposed. So for example, if you don't know where you can go, how are you going to get there? The only way you can get to where we need to be is if you understand and if you know where you need to be. So I think the biggest problem we have in our country is due to many reasons, not just one, that people don't look outside and they are more inverted. So my advice would be go out there, see it, but come back and assist our current program so that we win our gold medal or we win our Olympic medal or the World Championships medal.
Super. So today we discussed a lot on the role of strength and conditioning in maximizing the athletic performance. And Tanra shared his years of experience and knowledge with us, and I think these valuable facts brought up by him would be of words of gold for strength and conditioning coaches, athletic trainers, sports scientists and athletes, or anyone involved in the field of sports who want to amp up their performance or to help their athletes perform better at a higher level. So we will meet up with you soon again with another episode to discuss more on the topics and questions in the field of sports. So until then, have a very nice day, and thank you so much, Tanra, for joining with us today.
Thank you, Asas.